Welcome to Reddit Tea Time. Please like and subscribe. Am I the bonehead for encouraging my girlfriend to go work out because summer is coming? I, 27 male, have been with my girlfriend, 23 female, Faith, for almost 2 years now. We have been living together now for the past 6 months. When I first met her, she didn't work as much and told me she was on her weight loss journey and went to the gym frequently. I'm health and fitness oriented and go to the gym 4 to 6 times a week every morning. Since her job progressed, she is working 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and slowly stopped working out. When I met her, she told me she went down from 165 pounds to what she is now. She now doesn't work out at all. She is almost 5'3" and weighs 130 pounds and is a size 6 to 8 in jeans, which I think is just a tad overweight or chubby territory. Her weight hasn't progressed, but she hasn't lost any, but she lost muscle. Her stomach is not flat anymore. She doesn't have toned legs and just kind of looks blah. Of course I won't tell her that. So one day when we were talking about summer and a possible week vacation together, I told her, "Babe, come to the gym with me, lose 20 pounds, tone up, and you will be the hottest woman at the resort." Apparently, she didn't like that and acted like I called her the most disgusting woman to exist and hasn't been warm to me as usual. Now for my comments. Lose 20 pounds? Like that's so easy. Your focus on your girlfriend seems solely fixated on her physical appearance. Congratulations on having your preferences, but your approach lacks empathy or consideration for her feelings. Suggesting she lose weight and tone up to be the hottest woman at a resort goes beyond insensitive, especially since you are prioritizing her looks over her as a person. Your girlfriend's change in routine and job may have shifted her priorities, which clearly don't align with your fitness-oriented lifestyle. If you really cared about her, you would have approached the conversation about fitness and health sensitively. Instead of framing it around her appearance, focus on the benefits of a healthy lifestyle, like feeling more energized or reducing stress. But no. You just said, lose 20 pounds so you can look hot. And if she's so blah, why not leave her alone and go find someone you actually think is attractive? Everyone's body changes, and it's essential to appreciate and support your partner beyond their physical appearance. You're the bonehead. Am I the bonehead for refusing to attend my in-laws' Christmas unless sister-in-law removes the stocking that has a different name than the one I chose for my unborn son? To preface, I, female, have been with my husband Todd for 3 years. He has a son, 9, from his late wife. Todd is pretty close to his sister Monica. Their mom's deceased, and Monica has basically taken over. She's nice to me and all, but she seems to be a bit controlling, especially when it comes to Todd. But that wasn't a real issue until after I got pregnant. After we found the gender of the baby, boy, she insisted on the name Tommy, but I refused because I already had a name in mind and Todd loves it. But he chose to stay out of the fight, saying maybe we should just let Monica call him Tommy. I refused and asked her to please respect me and the fact that I'm the mom, not her, and she said, okay. Like always, she's hosting Christmas for the family this year and invited me and Todd to Christmas dinner. I was intending on coming, that is, until I discovered that she hung stockings with her kids, nephews, nieces' names, and hung a Tommy stocking saying that it's for my son. I was livid. I lost it on her and there was a huge fight. I told her I won't be coming to her Christmas dinner if she doesn't remove the stocking or put the real name, and then I left. Todd started yelling at me when we got home, saying that I was attempting to ruin an important family tradition by refusing to come, and said that I was overreacting and cannot be telling his sister what she should or shouldn't do in her own home. He tried to convince me to come, but I said no, not until she removes that stocking, and it doesn't look like she's going to do it, because he spoke with her, and he's now mad at me for making a huge deal out of it. Her husband, Philip, who's usually nice to me, called yesterday saying that he spoke with Todd, and he'd be devastated if I caused the family to miss the event at Monica's house and ruin it, not only for the adults, but for the kids as well, since my stepson loves spending the holidays with his cousins. Todd has been quiet, and the only way we communicate is through Philip. I feel ashamed. Maybe I overreacted. Am I the bonehead? Edit. To answer someone's question, no, I did not ask Monica to put a stocking for my son. She said it was for my son. It was her decision, although I find it weird since the baby isn't even born yet. In the comments, OP said that the name Tommy holds no special significance to anyone in the family. It's just a name Monica picked. Now for my comments. Monica's behavior regarding the name for your unborn child is bizarre. Trying to circumvent someone's parental decisions, especially about their child's name, is out of line. It's disrespectful to dictate such a personal choice, and her insistence on the name crossed boundaries. Additionally, your husband's lack of support is concerning. His passivity and refusal to stand up for your choice in front of his sister showcase a significant issue. It's not just about a name, it's about respect, boundaries, and support within your relationship. Monica's actions at Christmas, hanging a stocking for a name she chose against your wishes, was a clear attempt to assert control. It's perfectly reasonable for you to feel upset and unwilling to attend an event where your parental autonomy is being brushed aside. Your husband's reaction, backing his sister instead of understanding your feelings, is cowardly and not constructive. It's crucial to address this breakdown in support and communication between you and Todd. He needs to grow a pair when it comes to dealing with his sister. Respecting each other's decisions regarding your child and standing by each other is necessary. You shouldn't feel ashamed for standing up for what you believe is right for your child. Am I the bonehead for refusing to answer my wife when she spoke to me after I'd already left the room? My wife and I have been working from home today. I always work from home, but she goes into the office several days per week. Well, we were both working in our living room, and I got hungry, so I got up to go make myself some lunch in the kitchen. When I was midway down the hall, I heard my wife quietly say something to me. It was above normal conversation level, but it wasn't loud enough for me to hear it. I almost went back and asked my wife to repeat herself, but I have repeatedly told her in the past to say whatever she wants to say before I leave the room, so I decided to simply ignore her. People may find this a bit rude, but no matter how many times I tell her not to do this, she decides to do it anyway. I have concluded that she is intentionally doing it to get on my nerves, because nobody's memory could be this bad. When I was done cooking my lunch, I was eating at the kitchen table and scrolling through my phone. My wife asked me if I had made enough for her. I told her that I was boiling pasta before I had left the room, and I asked her if she had made the request before I had left the room or after. She absolutely refused to answer the question. I kept asking it over and over, yet she was apparently unwilling to admit that she had, once again, disregarded my explicit instructions to only speak to me when I'm still in the same room, not leaving the room. She became angry at me, but I calmly explained that the conversation would move forward whenever she was ready to answer the simple question that I had asked her. Eventually, she said "screw you" and started making herself a frozen meal from our freezer. I chuckled to myself as I finished my food and headed back to my work laptop in the living room. I couldn't believe how childish her behavior was. I likened it to a kid breaking a window with a baseball and then saying, "Don't look at me," while still holding the bat. My wife has serious problems with accepting responsibility for her failures, and I have decided that I am absolutely done coddling her enormous-sized ego. Whenever she's ready to answer the question, I'll be waiting. But she silently grabbed her work laptop and locked herself in our bedroom. I hope that she will one day understand that is acting like an overgrown toddler, but by her body language, I think she wants me to apologize to her. I'm feeling really discouraged. Am I the bonehead? Now for my comments. It's concerning how you speak about your wife as if she's a disobedient child rather than your partner. Your description of her actions seem incredibly dismissive and condescending. Refusing to engage in a conversation because she spoke when you were in another room and repeatedly pressing her about the timing of her request is not a healthy way to communicate. Your reaction to her refusal to answer in the way you demanded is childish in itself. The way you narrate the situation portrays a significant lack of respect for her. Your refusal to acknowledge her perspective or understand her actions suggests a one-sided and controlling approach to communication. The whole situation feels less about resolving an issue and more about you asserting control over the situation. You don't seem to genuinely like her, and that's a cause for concern in any relationship. This isn't about coddling egos, but fostering a healthier dynamic where both partners feel valued and heard. Your approach is far from constructive, and establishing healthier ways to address misunderstandings or conflicts can significantly improve your relationship. Seeking couples counseling might also be helpful in navigating these communication challenges together. Remember, a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect, understanding, and compromise. That being said, I hope she comes to her senses and gets away from you because you two should not be married. Am I the bonehead for yelling at my sister for proposing at my wedding? I, 27 female, recently got married. My childhood friend and I got engaged about a year ago, and I was so excited to make it official. My twin sister and I have never had the best relationship for a multitude of reasons, but the main one is that she cheated and hooked up with my former boyfriend in college when we both went to the same university. I never truly forgave her for that, even when she apologized. She also tries to one-up me and has always been too competitive. Either way, I still decided to invite her to my wedding because I knew it was the right thing to do. Keep in mind, this is the first time we had spoken in years, and she was surprised to receive an invitation. The wedding day comes and the ceremony goes fantastic. Everything is perfect. However, when we get to the after party as I'm giving my speech thanking everyone for coming and having a few family friends do speeches, her and her boyfriend march onto the stage and he proposes in front of everyone at my wedding. Needless to say, I was furious and got up and yelled at her in front of everyone. She then started a shouting match and said I interrupted her special moment. The family is split, with most saying she was wrong for doing it, but I shouldn't have interrupted and should have pulled her aside afterwards. I don't really know, but I don't think I need to apologize. So, am I the bonehead? Now, for my comments. Your twin's behavior at your wedding was utterly inappropriate and disrespectful. To think that she used your special day as a stage for her own proposal is beyond selfish and insensitive. It's a blatant disregard for your moment, your celebration, and the importance of the occasion. Sure, some might argue that you could have handled it differently, but let's be real here. No one expects to have their wedding hijacked by their own twin. Her audacity to steal the spotlight at your wedding and then complain about you interrupting her special moment is absolutely ludicrous. Her track record of competitive behavior and crossing boundaries by hooking up with your former boyfriend already highlights a pattern of self-centeredness. She needs a reality check on appropriate social conduct. You're not the bonehead. She's the one who plucked herself off the tree and rolled off into the neighbor's yard. You had every right to be furious. She owes you a massive apology for her behavior and an even bigger gesture of humility for her audaciousness. Holding her accountable for her actions is essential. Moving forward, perhaps it's best to reassess your relationship with her. It's clear she's got a knack for making everything about herself, and your wedding was just another stage for her performance. Don't let her behavior diminish the significance of your special day. Am I the bonehead for ruining my sister's Christmas wedding? I, 34 female, have a sister, 25 female, and she's always talked about her dream wedding being a Christmas wedding. Her wedding was supposed to be this Saturday, and she made me her matron of honor. Well, now she's saying I ruined her wedding. So me and my husband foster children. We recently got 3 boys, 15, 15, and 14. They aren't related, but they all know each other. They were supposed to stay with my husband on Saturday while I went to my sister's wedding. I'm not going to put all their business out there, but their caseworkers said they all needed to be drug tested once a month, and the 14-year-old needed to be tested for STDs. The appointment was already made with the lab for this Thursday. We got the last appointment for the day, which was 5 o'clock. Well, my sister messaged me today saying that for some reason, she has to move the wedding from Saturday to Thursday. She couldn't give me a reason why, just that she has to. That's a problem. Her wedding is from 5 to 10 p.m. and the venue is a whole hour away. So I would miss the ceremony and I'm the matron of honor. I told her this and she told me to reschedule their drug tests. That's not really completely up to me. I have to speak to their caseworker and I did. She seemed really annoyed but did call the lab. She says it's not possible. The lab is for some reason closed the entire week of Christmas, and for some reason DHS wants it done at this lab specifically, and the only other day they can get them in is this Friday, but the caseworker said that won't work. The drug tests, we would get the results back in an hour. However, some of the STDs the 14-year-old is being tested for can't be done at that lab, and they send it to the reference lab and we would get the results back the following day when they are faxed back to them. But since it's a Friday and the lab would be closed all next weekend, we wouldn't get them back until over a week later, and the caseworker said we need those results as soon as possible. I told my sister this and she got mad. She asked why my husband couldn't take them, and that's because he is a surgical tech and has a 6-hour surgery that day and he can't call in because then they wouldn't have enough people to do the patient's surgery. So she was just upset and then started grilling me on why the boys need to be drug tested and why would a 14-year-old need to have a bunch of STD tests. I told her that's not her business. I don't even know everything, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell her. That's their business. She says, "It's affecting my wedding. If you're gonna drop out last minute as my matron of honor, I have a right to know why they even need those tests." I told her no, she doesn't, and she's the one who changed the date last minute. She then starts asking why I would even take the boys in because they sound like trouble and the 14-year-old is obviously nasty. I told her if she's going to judge and insult them over the phone to me, then I'm not having this conversation anymore. She said I ruined her wedding. She told my mom and my mom called me saying my sister is really upset and saying she's not coming to Christmas now if I'm there. I am a foster parent. When I agree to take kids in, I am agreeing to taking care of all their needs, the medical ones too. But my mom seems to think I'm wrong. I feel bad because this is her dream wedding, but there's nothing I can do. I have to listen to DHS. I just need to know, am I the bonehead? Now for my comments. You're not the bonehead, but your sister is for scheduling a wedding on a Thursday. You're fulfilling a critical role in providing care for these kids, and you're bound by the requirements laid down by the authorities. It's not about ruining her wedding. It's about fulfilling your commitment to these children's well-being. Her insensitivity toward the situation you're in as a foster parent, her judgmental comments about the kids, and her demands for private information are uncalled for. It's inappropriate for her to pry into the personal medical situation of these children. Your priority is caring for these kids, and DHS guidelines cannot be compromised for the sake of a wedding, especially one that was moved at the last minute. You handled the situation responsibly by trying to rearrange the lab appointment, but when faced with DHS restrictions, there wasn't much else you could do. It's unfortunate that your sister has taken this so personally and is attempting to emotionally manipulate you by threatening not to attend Christmas. Your responsibilities as a foster parent come first, and you're abiding by necessary protocols. Talk to your mom and explain the situation further, emphasizing your commitment to the kids' welfare and the limitations you're facing. Your dedication to these children's well-being is commendable, and your sister's reaction is unreasonably dramatic. Those are all of today's stories from me. Please tell me what you think in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next Reddit story. Take care.